Well, I appreciate you sharing those stories. There's so much to talk about with you. I want to get on to Ranomi a little bit. You have incredible success with her. When did that process start with you? Because I'm fascinated in this in terms of having a male Olympic champion and then going on and having a female Olympic champion in the same event. Were there differences for you? Surely, and kind of how did that process go for you?
Yeah, well, I think the first big difference was that I went from a champion in the 100 with the worst start in the whole field to a champion in the 100 with the best start and turns and underwaters of the whole field. So that was actually, honestly, Ranomi benefited from all the knowledge we gathered in the years before
Sure.
to try and get Peter a better start and turn.
Oh, okay.
So he benefited a little from it.
Mm-hmm.
But also in Eindhoven, Eindhoven is quite a tech-driven area. This is the city of Philips. You know Philips,
Right.
the
Yep.
electronical company. So pretty much Philips built this whole thing here.
Oh, okay.
And by then, you know, a new pool was built with new high-tech cameras and everything we could use. And this came really into place in the work with Ranomi as well. So we could honestly teach her. And of course, she has a talent for that, but we could teach her how to start at your very best. And that was a 3-4 year project to nail it like that. But it was massively helped again by the experience, but also by the technology by then we had in Eindhoven in the pool. I started working with Ranomi in 2007 a little bit because she was training in the north of the Netherlands with quite a small team, and she didn't train a lot. So probably 5-6 times a week, and not a lot of volume. You know, the first time she went on training camp with us was in Cyprus, and she said, "Can I join your group? Just to train a little bit?" And I already thought, and I've spoken to her coach, and she told me like, Ranomi cannot handle too much. I thought, okay, that's good to know. So I took it very easy. I said, like, we're gonna go 6 100s on 130. And she looked at me and she said, I can't do that. So what do you mean? 130? I said, there's no goal time, just make the 130. That's all. And she said, no, because after I swam 2 or 3 100s freestyle, I have to do a little bit of backstroke because otherwise I cannot maintain.
She's like me. She's like me. She's like me.
Yeah.
I like her.
So, but the good thing was, because this sounds like I'm ridiculing, but I'm not.
No.
It's just a story about how trainable some of these athletes are. You know, at the peak of her career, so that was clearly 2011, 2012. She could easily swim like 2.5, 3.5K sets in freestyle to do that. So in all those years, you know, we not only, let's say, built the skills and the technique and everything, but also really worked on that aerobic development.
Right.
She actually, I think her first Olympics, she was qualified for the 200. Surprisingly enough, 2008, and she was a relay swimmer. So she qualified for the 200, 158, not too quick, but it already showed actually with not too much, let's say, training volume at a young age, that her capabilities were way more. And we actually spoke during the trajectory, because after 2008, she came training full time in Eindhoven. And that's where I thought, like, well, she's actually a much better 50 and 100 swimmer, but we still have to develop her physiology. I really feel like with Ranomi leading into 2012, we pretty much had a lot under control. And let's say, if I compare that with my first journey with Peter, I could use a lot of the experience I had there in that trajectory.
Right, right.